Former President Donald Trump is back on the witness stand come Monday in his multi-million-dollar civil fraud trial. Now, Trump will be the final witness for the defense. At the heart of this case, claims the Trump family and business manipulated the value of assets to get tax benefits and favorable loan terms. Trump attended the trial yesterday, maintaining his innocence, even though the judge already found Trump and his co-defendants liable for fraud. MSNBC legal analyst Lisa Rubin was in court yesterday and joins us now. And Lisa, you have spent a lot of time in that courtroom during this trial, which started way back on October 2nd. It's been almost 2+ months. What are you looking for as Trump takes the stand on Monday to close out the defense?
Anna, the first thing I'm looking for is actually whether he takes the stand. You know that the former president is subject to a gag order. He tried earlier this week to escalate and rush along an appeal of that gag order in the hopes of having it lifted before he took the stand, and he failed to do so for reasons that are probably too detailed for our viewers. But the long and short of it is that gag order can't be lifted before Monday afternoon or evening at the earliest, and that means Team Trump has a very difficult choice to make. Allow Donald Trump to literally sit within inches of the principal law clerk, who he has already talked about twice in violation of the gag order and sustained 2 different fines about, or keep him at home against what I imagine are his deepest wishes to go and vindicate himself. If he takes the stand, I expect Donald Trump to say the banks were happy lenders, nobody was damaged, nobody suffered any financial losses, he relied at all times on his accountants, and of course, there were no material misstatements in his financial statements because on balance, even if there was an error here or there, it was on balance an accurate reporting of his assets.
We mentioned how the president was in court yesterday. He didn't have to go, but here's how he described being there during the lunch break.
The Attorney General committed fraud, and you just saw it right up there. She's a fraud. This whole case is a fraud. It's election interference. It's keeping me here instead of Iowa and New Hampshire. You just saw it. The Attorney General's a fraud. She committed fraud.
Actually, the judge ruled that he committed fraud and his business committed fraud, but he says that the judge, or the Attorney General in this case, is keeping him off the campaign trail. He could have been in New Hampshire or Iowa yesterday. To be clear, he didn't have to be there in court yesterday. What's the strategy there?
Strategy is twofold. One, again, to convince his base that he's being politically persecuted, but also to give himself an excuse for not going to Iowa or New Hampshire. You know, Anna, I'm not a political correspondent, but if you talk to our colleagues who have been on the campaign trail, they will tell you that the number of times that Trump has gone to Iowa and New Hampshire in this campaign cycle are fewer and further between than he would like to admit. So it's a convenient excuse that he has to be in the courtroom for a civil trial where his attendance is not legally mandatory.
We'll be watching closely on Monday.